looks pretty today. She's probably thinking, does it mean it doesn't look good on other days? So this is the farms up in Vernon, and to show our South African friends that we have wineries all over the Okanogan in British Columbia. We're on a tractor. And of course the Waynes sit up front because they're part of the elite. Say something to Grandma Margaret. Grandma Normand.
Beautiful.
Look at that.
Summer apple.
You never get this in South Africa like this. That's all we do in South Africa is we look at all the farms. With Eric and Mary Lee's, we have a wonderful time with that couple. It's the highlight of our trip. Are those apples or what?
Apple, yes, of course. You have summer apple, winter.
Look at the peppers.
Oh, wow.
Hey, we could take some home. Nobody's looking.
No, terrible. All the hot peppers. This is all the hot peppers.
It's 30 degrees south. You see us here in Vernon. Normand knows everything. I know nothing.
Yeah, I'm done now.
You gotta talk real loud or they
The
won't.
plum, that's all the plum.
Yeah.
Plum tree.
Hey, there's a free trailer. Look at that. More apple trees, guys. Peach, you said. Grandma just loves this.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Just the thought of walking kills us. Look at that. We were just down there shooting up this one.
All pepper.
Peppers, like it says. In the beautiful valley. It goes for about 500-600 miles south through the United States, this valley. We used to camp at Sun Cove Resort in eastern Washington State here. Pumpkins. Peter, this is for you.
Big one.
We should grow pumpkins in Stanley Park. This thing's really jerky. Does it look nice? Look at that. And that's where they put the bad kids in there.
We're a big farm.
Here's the boxes which they pick the fruit 6 minutes and 46.
Never be more than 15 seconds.
This is going to 10 minutes, this video. Yeah, people with low attention spans.
Then they get more, they go 6 minutes.
So this is our little family out in Vernon, having a great time. Now we're coming back to where we parked the truck. Just down here on the left. Nice big pickup truck. Yeah. And then they have a whole kids area, and they have sheep and goats and donkeys, pigs even.
There's a gala there. Okay, they might have gala. So many apples on the floor. My grandma never wanted to leave them on the floor. She used to take all the apple on the floor, clean them, and make apple pie.
Oh, very good. Well, yep, you should. Let's go pick them up then. You go first, I'll follow. Beaches? There, it'd be nice to have a house on the top of that hill there. Now we're on the far side. Still more kids area, huge stores, restaurants, coffee shops here. Kids play area, all kinds of stuff for the kids, feeding thing, lots of animals. Now if you did this in South Africa, this guy makes most his money off of the store. It's right here and all the locals buy. One pie was $18. Yeah. It's like 200 rand. Hey Sophie, say what you think. Like it? You like it? She don't like it. We ran out of gas, guys.
All right, how's everybody doing? Good. All right. So, welcome to Davison's Farm. How many first-timers have we got here today? First-timers? Excellent.
And that farm, yeah.
Well, welcome, and welcome back if you've been on the tour before, or been to the farm before. Yeah. So we're really excited this year. 2023. We're celebrating our 90th anniversary of family farming in the North Okanogan.
Wow.
So kids, pop quiz. Kids, pop quiz. What year did the farm start? Open book test. Open book test.
Just say 1820.
If you look real close at maybe the boxes that you're in.
Yeah. He knows better than French.
I don't know French.
He said 1933.
1933. Exactly. 1933. Good choice. Yeah, so it was in 1933 that Tom Davison and his wife, May, immigrated here from England, and they settled here on these 34 acres. So we're on the original 34-acre plot of land that they got back then. The Davison family, it's now expanded to about 150, 160 acres. We've got property just on the hillside up top up there, and then just north of Vernon, there's a place called O'Keefe Ranch. So it's another tourist area, O'Keefe Ranch. just above the ranch, there's a bench, land bench up there called Grandview Bench, and there's about another 50 acres up there of trees and veggie plants as well. So they've kind of diversed out quite a bit, and that's really good to see. One of the reasons that he chose this side over here on this side of the valley is we're a south facing slope on this side, so we get predominantly all the sun. We're also at the confluence of about 4 different mini valleys in here. We've got the Okanogan Lake out that way, we've got the Cow Lake Valley over there, Coldstream Valley heads out to the Monashee Mountains that way, and then out that way is the North Okanagan out to Armstrong Valley. So kind of we're right in the middle of about the convergence of about 4 different valleys, so it kind of creates its own little microclimate here, right on this little spot out here. Over on that side, so that side of the valley over there, north facing, lots of evergreens and coniferous trees over there, so it's a lot cooler, a lot more humid over on that side than it is over on this side. So that's those checked a lot of boxes for him when he was looking for land to buy. It also had in place, by about 20 years, but it was in place anyway, it was a good sustainable land irrigation system, and that was called the Grey Canal. Now the Grey Canal, it was a gravity-fed irrigation system. It took its water from up there on the highlands up there, it's called the Okanogan Highlands back then. There's a series of mountain lakes up there, and they're all just fed from the snowpack. They've dammed a couple of them now, but that's where at that time, and still to this day, that they get their water from for this farm. The Grey Canal was a gravity fed, as I said. It was an open trough system above ground. It was a series of, so they had troughs, they had trellises, they had flumes, they had siphoning flumes that carried water up and over obstacles that they couldn't go through. Trellises, it was approximately 50 miles long when it was completed in 1914. And when it was done, it was considered the largest and longest gravity-fed irrigation canal in North America.
Wow.
Engineering feat beyond second compare. So right where you guys got on the train, there's a silo-shaped building with a peaked roof on it. And at the top floor of that, there's a display in there on the Grey Canal. Well worth a stop in. I do a Reader's Digest version, just cover over. They go into more detail, lots of pictures and pictographs and everything like that. So it's well worth the stop in to have a look in there on the Grey Canal. Yeah. So we got water to the farm now. That's really good. That's important. I think we have to grow things. We need water. We need a good sustainable source of water. So they put in place a drip irrigation system, and that's what you see happening right now. We've got the tubes that are running along the wires for the apple trees, and we're just dripping water down, right down into the root base of all the trees. So that's right where it needs it. We don't need to be watering out here. We don't need to be watering here with sprinklers or anything like that. We want to get it right to the roots of the tree where the tree is going to use it the most. So every one of these trees, the water comes out, there's a flow rate regulated. So I'm going to ask the question, how many gallons of water do you think each tree uses? Anybody want to take a guess? Per day.
3 gallon?
Close. What was over here? 50? Little high. Little high. No. So anywhere between 4 and 5 gallons a day per tree the trees use. So to me, I don't know, there's a lot of trees here. That's a lot of gallons of water. So we're very, very conscious on conserving water. The drip irrigation system that's been implemented, Grandpa Bob Davison says it was one of the best innovations for orchardists that ever came about. That and the 4-wheel drive tractor. But drip irrigation, just a marvelous system. The pear trees over there, they use the same type of a system, but you'll notice they've got some drop down plastic whirligigs. That's the only way I can describe them. So they actually sprinkle the water out to a space of about 5 feet in total diameter. The root base on pear trees is that much bigger than it is on apple trees. They're also spaced further apart to accommodate for the extra root base on it. So that's the reason that the pear trees all have those drop down little sprinkler systems on them, and that they're spaced further apart. So We do the drip irrigation with all our fruit trees. We do it with all our veggie plants as well. So the veggie plants are
Sophie.
they're usually, tomato plants are probably averaging about 1 to 2 gallons of water a day. So less than half of what these apple trees use. So yeah. So I get asked about all the fruit on the ground. So there's lots of stuff just down there dropped on the ground. So about the beginning of June, the trees will naturally drop some of their fruit. Okay, it's just natural for them to drop it. They don't need to grow all that fruit. Then we go through afterwards. I say we, it's the farmers, it's not me by any stretch of the imagination. But they have to go through every branch on every tree and they thin them out again. So they'll take little clippers and they'll thin them out to a spacing of about 5 inches apart on every tree. That's good for the tree that way, so the tree doesn't have to stress out feeding all these apple mouths to feed. It only has to worry about maybe 1 or 2 on a branch. So that way we're going to get a bigger apple, a better, crisper, sweeter apple that produces
Like I have to feed
all those
you.
good qualities that we want in the apples. And that's why you see all these ones that are dropped down. So that's all done on purpose for the most part along here. Some of the bigger ones that you've seen, we had some hail come through a couple weeks ago. And they've been going, there was quite a bit of damage, so they've been going through and culling out the hail damaged apples. Basically anything that's got a split in it, they'll be onto the ground for the birds to eat. If it's just got little kind of dimples in it or something like that, then they'll second those out and put them into the juicing the juicing material or the pies or just anything to do with baking and all that. But if it's got a split in it, it's basically ground food for the critters. So yeah, so that's what's happened with that. Apple season coming up, we'll probably start picking apples somewhere towards the end of August and then right through until September. So we do a U-Pick apple program here on the farm, as well as a U-Pick pumpkin in October. Apples in September, pumpkins in October. So when you guys want to come back, those 2 months, that's what we'll be doing. So if you got any questions, we can get out now. You can stretch the legs, take some pictures. I'll take group pictures. If you got questions, come on up and ask, and we'll just keep it casual for the next 5-10 minutes or so until I see that other train coming along. So